So we're doing an outside inspection in the winter, always a bit of a challenge. Sometimes we get to see things we don't get to see in the summer. The downspout for the eave trough, it's kind of pulled apart and it's dumping the water at the front corner of the garage. The biggest concern here is water going across the front of the driveway. That can cause some settlement issues in the asphalt over time. We want to get this downspout draining away from the foundation. On the outside of this foundation, we do see a crack. Somebody's done a slight surface repair. Generally, a surface repair like that's not going to be very successful. Our concern at this point is it going to allow moisture into the house? Chances are that crack will go right down to the footing. As long as it's not leaking, we're not going to get too worried about it. That crack's not going to change or get bigger at this point. Our biggest concern is moisture. The most common repair is a repair from the inside, and that's that resin injection. In a perfect world, the house is sitting up in the middle of a ball pitcher's mound with slope away every direction. This house, we have grade right up to the windows. Might consider some window wells and even a little bit more soil to try and get a little bit of slope away and try and prevent moisture around the window frames. What we're looking at here is a foundation crack that has had a repair. We see these stains. It looks like it's moisture, but it's actually not. We see these little nipples coming out, so that tells us this was an injected crack repair. And very often once we see that, this is a highly successful way to repair a crack to prevent moisture coming into a foundation. So we look down to the floor all the way up under the stairway here. Again, these stains look like moisture, but they are dry. So we're not really going to be too concerned about a repair that's been made like that. Usually that's pretty successful. We're looking in the basement for moisture, always looking for signs of any staining. Here we see a slight stain. So the moisture meter is a non-invasive tool. This particular one we could poke in the wall, but we have to remember we're a guest in this house, so we can't be poking holes in walls. We have to leave the house as we found it. So a bit of a stain here, and what this tool is really good for is we can take a look at that. We can actually measure that moisture. If it was wet, my moisture meter would be beeping and say, hey, we got some moisture in there. We need to dig a little bit further to see if that's cause for concern or not.